plenty mode. Ma. Whatever the fuck Sharpay Evans did.
It's
that
exactly
one.
that.
Is that actually?
It's exactly that.
Is there more than two brewers?
I think it's just the two, and then she does like the ma, and then I'm sure she does something else after it as well.
Does she?
I think so. Yeah.
Fucking bitch. I hate her.
Famous to High School Musical.
I hate her.
No, you don't.
I do.
You're just being gaslit by Disney Channel to hate her. In reality, Sharpay does nothing wrong. Sharpay
Ever.
No, never.
So when she's in that what is she called? Vanessa Huggins. When she's in her face and she's like, ma, and she slams her into a locker because she's just so startling as a human.
She's just kind of weird. She's just a weird theatre kid.
Can't relate to that.
Her, Sharpay Evans and Johnny Lawrence from Karate Kid, never done a single thing wrong, but everyone hates them.
Welcome to Doctor Who Rewind, an unofficial and unprofessional rewatch podcast where I, Tyrese, and my friend Katie
Hello!
watch and discuss episodes of Doctor Who, starting with the revival in 2005. Once we complete that, we'll backtrack to the 60s and talk about classic Who. In between seasons, we'll discuss extended media, things like books, games, and Big Finish audio adventures. Katie, I want to correct something I said in last week's episode, by the way.
Yeah.
I'm just going to do it now.
Mm-hmm.
I was on about the Gelth saying they're the last of their kind for... like, by taking the idea that they are the last of their kind from the Doctor telepathically.
Yeah.
And instead I said, oh no, I think that happens in Midnight. I'm wrong. It's Cold Blood and Hungry Earth. The Silurian they capture. And she's like, I am the last of my species. And
it's a trick that we play with the Doctor, though.
Yeah,
generally.
But I just wanted to clear my good name.
How about your bad name?
You don't talk about him.
Sorry.
Are you done dancing?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Aliens of London.
Yeah. This week.
It's an episode.
Yep, it happened.
And we watched it.
And it was on.
I was going to say the same thing next. I was like, oh, I hope she doesn't say this.
So immediately, what do you think?
Immediate thoughts.
Yeah, immediate thoughts.
Not as good as I remember.
Yeah, I can agree with that one.
It seems that it's just not... It's more talky than I remember it being. Which I think might have been the... Because I know that it's a two-parter, so it's build-up,
you have to
execution. Yeah.
The second part, I guess.
Part one is build-up, part two is just the proverbial shit hitting the fan. And that's what we get afterwards. That's fine, but that's going to be next week, which means this week is the build-up one.
This episode, the two of them feel like watching them back-to-back gives the best experience.
Yeah, like a little movie.
Yeah.
Like a little tiny movie thing.
Because when you watch it like that, it's probably paced better.
Oh, I don't doubt it. But we're not doing that.
No.
So, and I'm going to hold it against the episode, because that's not my fault.
I made a mistake, so
well, it would have.
Fuck this.
It would have aired 2 weeks apart,
That's
not
true,
a week
yeah.
apart. So, I mean, it doesn't matter. But it does, 'cause it changes everything for me. But it just seemed a lot more talky, and I didn't enjoy it as much as I did last week's episode.
Like, don't get me wrong, I don't hate it.
No.
I wouldn't even
like
consider
that.
it to be like that bad or that awful. It's just...
It's still enjoyable.
Yeah. It just kind of feels like it takes its time.
It does, which
with
is
some
fine.
things. I
I want an episode to do that. I don't want it to rush things.
Yeah.
I just kind of wish there was a little more in here than there is in terms of execution of its ideas.
I was going to say, I probably have the least notes on this episode.
I didn't think I was getting many notes down.
No, me
there was a lot where
neither.
I was like, I'm just sort of sitting through talking. But,
Like last week, for instance,
yeah,
I was furiously typing. This week, barely even angry.
I was too busy eating within the first 5 minutes of last week's episode, so I didn't get any notes of the first 5 minutes of Unquiet Dead, and I was just hoping that you would carry.
We sure
But
made up
you
for it.
carried us through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Katie.
Yeah.
What happened in this episode? Shut the fuck up, I'll tell you. If you didn't watch it, Aliens of London is episode 4 of Doctor Who, aired the 16th of April 2005 to 7.63 million viewers. This episode, much like Rose, directed by Keith Boak and written by Russell T Davies. Here is a plot synopsis that I never wrote and cannot take credit for. This is Audible. Rose and the Doctor return for a visit with Jackie. Rose thinks that she has only been gone for 12 hours. Rose tells a shocked Jackie that she's just been staying with a friend as the Doctor bursts in and tells her she's been gone for 12 months, not 12 hours. The police question the Doctor, believing him to have kidnapped Rose. They don't believe Rose's story about travelling as her passport is still at home, and the age difference between them leads the detective to question if the companion relationship is sexual. Jackie questions the titled Doctor, telling him to stitch this mate and then slapping him. The Doctor and Rose chat outside. The Doctor reveals he's never been slapped by anyone's mother in 900 years. Rose has seen so much and she can't even tell anyone about it, right as a huge alien spaceship flies overhead, crashes through Big Ben, and lands in the River Thames. As the roads are blocked off and the Doctor doesn't want to bring the TARDIS to the public's attention, Rose suggests watching the news on TV. Back at the Tylers, a large group are gathered to see General Asquith, played by Rupert Vansittart. I'm not even going to cut that, that's how I'm saying it. Entering the hospital that holds the alien found in the wreckage. Many important figures gather at Downing Street, including Joseph Green, David Very, the new acting Prime Minister. While Dr. Sato, Naoko Mori, performs the alien autopsy, Harriet Jones, MP for Flydale North, Penelope Wilton, attempts to make a move on the new Prime Minister, but is swept aside in favour of his meeting with Margaret Blaine, Annette Badland, where he is given the emergency protocols. Her surname is Badland.
Yeah.
That's metal as
So
fuck.
good.
That's so metal. The Doctor leaves the party, claiming it's too human for him inside. He gives Rose a TARDIS key and promises that he won't leave and he won't interfere. On his way back to the TARDIS, the Doctor is spotted by Mickey, who chases him. At the hospital, the Doctor walks into a room full of soldiers. Before they can react, there's a scream from outside, and he leads the soldiers to find Dr. Sato with the dead alien who is actually alive and running around the hospital. The alien in question is a pig running around on 2 legs in a spacesuit. When it sees the soldiers, it runs away in fear. The Doctor, recognising this, tries to catch it, but it is gunned down. Back at Downing Street, Harriet Jones sneaks inside the cabinet room but is forced to hide when General Asquith, Margaret Blaine and Joseph Green enter. Harriet Jones watches in horror as Asquith, Blaine and another, Oliver Charles, Eric Potts, murder General Asquith. The Doctor and Dr. Sato examine the body and the Doctor finds that the pig is a regular Earth pig. It had its brain rewired and was put in the ship to orchestrate a fake crash. Mickey arrives at Rose's flat and reveals that Jackie believed he'd murdered Rose. The Doctor returns and the 3 of them enter the TARDIS, but Jackie leaves in shock and calls a number to report an alien sighting. When she mentions the TARDIS, an alarm blares. Green, Blaine and Asquith receive a code 9. The Doctor has been located. In the TARDIS, the Doctor finds that experts and specialists on aliens are being brought in and realises that these people belong to UNIT. He fills Rose in on the organisation and Mickey confirms that the Doctor has worked with them before. Having spent the past year researching the Doctor's past, Rose suggests going to UNIT for help, but the Doctor refuses. The Doctor decides they need to check out the crashed spaceship up close. However, when the gang step out of the TARDIS, they are surrounded. Mickey runs away, and the Doctor and Rose are taken in. They are taken to Downing Street, where the Doctor is brought in to meet with the other experts, and Rose teams up with Harriet Jones. The experts are gathered with Green and Asquith. Harriet takes Rose to the cabinet room and tells her Green and Blaine are aliens in skin suits who killed Asquith. Suddenly, the two find the body of the Prime Minister hidden in the cupboard. The Doctor interrupts Asquith and wonders why the crash was faked, as all it has done is cause panic and caused Earth's alien experts to gather in one place. However, as quickly as he says it, the Doctor realises why. It was a trap. A police officer arrives at the Tyler's flat and begins to unzip his forehead. Margaret Blaine catches Rose and Harriet and begins to unzip, and downstairs Asquith does too. He thanks the experts for wearing the ID cards and activates a device which begins to electrocute the experts. The aliens name themselves the Slitheen. So after about 90 minutes it is taken to get that intro done.
Yep.
That's not an exaggeration, there was a food break. I hate everything. Within the first minute of this episode, and I mean that almost literally, I wasn't timing it, but it's very close to within the first minute, Shireen is mentioned. I'll just tell her I was staying at Shireen's.
Yep.
And I was paying good big attention to this episode, trying to look in the background of every shot in the apartment to find a possible Shireen, and I could not find one.
No. Because the thing is, I feel like she's a character where if she did just show up in the background, someone would mention it's Shireen.
Do you though?
I think so. I think Rose would say hello to her.
I mean, I think she'd have to, otherwise she'd just be a bitch.
Yeah. She was there watching the whole thing the whole time and she just completely ignored her best mate.
She's like, alright, man, I didn't need you anyway, I got aliens now. I got aliens, I got box machine, it's fine. The kind of crying that makes you swallow the bottom lip. It's the best kind. It's the best kind of crying. It's been 12 months.
Yes, since Rose was last around.
Rose Tyler, missing.
She comes in to the house as well and she just says, hiya.
Yes, I
How have you been?
Just been round Shireen's.
Like, imagine, obviously we know as an audience member that actually she's been with the Doctor and it's been fine and, you know, she's only been gone for a little bit in her mind. But imagine if she actually had been gone a year and she just rocked back up at Jackie's and she was like, hiya.
I've been in space. Sorry, I can't go, I've been in space. Like, with this, and I do love that it's been like 12 months. It's a good way to go. Like, here's how often the Doctor fucks up, because it's regular. The Doctor never ends up where he wants to be, and he always, like, I mean, in the last episode, he aimed for 1 year and hit the wrong one.
He aimed for wrong year. He aimed for 1 year and got the wrong year, and then he aimed for one place and also got the wrong place.
Oh yeah, he did get the wrong. I forgot about getting the wrong place.
Yeah, they were supposed to go to Naples, and he's like, oopsie daisy, Wales.
Well, we all end up when we aim for Naples. But in this scene, when Jackie shows up, same robe.
Yep.
New year, same robe. Same Jackie. Never change.
Love it.
That was for Jackie.
A kiss.
Not like a proper kiss, but like a cheek kiss, like cheeky peck.
A respectful kiss.
Yeah, like miss you, hun.
Yeah.
Because I would love to just grab a pint with Camille Kajuri.
I would.
I gotta imagine that.
I would. She, in my mind, she is the queen of Doctor Who.
At the pub.
With guest star.
At the pub with Camille Kajuri.
With Jackie Tyler.
Giving away our location.
Let's just bleep it.
People show up at the... That was our local pub that I just had to bleep. Just in case.
Yeah.
Just in case.
Implying that everyone who isn't listening to this are not people who we also regularly go to the pub
6
with.
people that we know.
Yeah, I'm going to assume that we don't have an audience yet, so it's
You
all
don't...
right.
If ever. It'll be horrible because none of these have aired yet. Not one episode of this has aired yet.
We're getting ahead of the recording because we're really professional.
It would be horrible if there was an immediate audience and we spend 4 episodes talking about how no one's gonna wanna watch this.
Show is.
No one's gonna wanna hear us talk about this. When the Doctor realizes that Rose is missing, that it's been a year, he sees the missing poster.
Yeah.
I've no other name for this, and I think it's only really in this season. It might show up once every now and then afterwards. That I'm calling the season 1 hum. And I think you know the sound that I'm talking about. It's like a sound that happens in the music. It's like an eerie little synthy hum thing that happens.
The little stinger.
Yeah.
I know the one.
But it feels like a very season 1 contained thing. And I like that sound. I think it's really, it's there's something sci-fi about that sound. That sound does go away. But there's something very science fiction, like something is amiss, and then you hear that sound, and you're like, something is definitely amiss, and then the Doctor does a run, and you're like, oh, everything's amiss.
It's just gone wrong, hasn't it?
And then they both go up the Swannon stairs, the one that he swanned off in the first time we saw him.
He comes in, he busts in the door, where, like, you know, obviously Jackie is distraught, Rose is confused, and he goes, you've been gone a whole year, sorry, and then just does this massive beaming smile that he just does a lot, and I like it.
He's got a good smile. Eccleston's
Show
got
them teeth, sir.
He does it. What was there another point in this episode where he did do a big smile?
Oh, he's beaming pretty much the whole time because he's just like, look, a thing that I didn't know about is happening. And he's just excited about it.
Yeah. It's something that he does quite often is just smile, but it's almost like a nervous smile, like he shouldn't be doing it.
Yeah,
but he is, and he knows that he's doing it.
It's like the smile that follows bad news. Like he'll tell you something that's like not so great, and then he'll be like, ooh, smile, because then it's not so bad.
Smile, because what else can I do?
Yeah. The picture that's on the missing posters of Rose is hanging up in the Tyler's living room.
Oh yeah, well she's got the shoulder and
stuff. I just noticed it, and I've not noticed it before. So
you said before this that you do have some information.
I do,
based on the missing poster for Rose Tyler.
Do you want to know what it says? First of all,
no.
Okay, that's fine. What are we gonna do now then? Just cut this bit, I guess.
Yeah.
It's a picture of Billie Piper. It's not a picture of Rose.
Of course.
Which, like,
of course.
Now I've seen it, I'm like, oh yeah. But the poster says, Rose Tyler has been missing from her home on the Powell estate since the 6th of March 2005. Rose is described as 19 years old, 5 feet 4 inches in height, slim build with shoulder-length blonde hair. Anyone with information regarding Rose should contact 207-946-000, which is probably just numbers. I don't think it's like an active number.
Yeah, I doubt it.
And it's not even one of those, you know, sometimes when they put phone numbers in things, and it's like an Easter egg, or if you call that line.
Yeah, like viral marketing.
Yeah, I don't think that was the case, because it's like literally just a quick flash of a poster. So.
Yeah, not at all.
She went missing on my birthday.
Oh yeah, so she did?
My 6th birthday, Rose Tyler went missing.
What did you do? Billie Piper was your birthday present.
She's at my
someone
birthday
pinched her for your birthday. I
wonder what party I had when I was 6. I wonder if that
2005. What do you think that you would have done?
Oh, something dumb, probably. Something really dumb. It's when you're young, so it was probably just like, you know, I had people round.
Because it was your birthday.
Yeah, my mum made a nice tea or something.
It's odd that we, in the first episode of this, spent a good amount of time Googling how tall Billie Piper was in comparison to me.
Just for them to have
this
it
poster
revealed,
outright just tells us that I am...
It's because we needed to know the facts.
And again, I still don't know my own specific height. because I'm an idiot.
No.
But roughly a Billy Piper tall.
A Billy Piper.
I'm approximately one Billy Piper tall.
As a unit of measurement.
Whenever I go to the doctors and I'm like, so how tall are you? And I'm like,
Oh,
one Billy Piper.
One Billy Piper.
One Billy Piper. Did you say one Willy by mistake there?
No.
Here's a question that I have.
Yeah.
What do people do with Rose's age after she's been gone a year? Do they think that she's 20 now? Is she just skip a year and she is still 19 and she has to wait?
Question, isn't it?
And she has to wait till her next birthday to be considered 20?
But that's the thing. For her, it really has only been a few days. So
Yeah.
there's no point saying she's a year older because she just isn't.
She's not a year wiser, I'll tell you that much.
No.
She's crazy.
If anything, she's a year dumber.
Why?
I don't know. I just feel like if that was me, if I was travelling about with the doctor and I saw all the stuff, I'd come back stupider somehow.
You think that if you went away with a man who is almost science on legs,
Yeah.
you'd be like, oh, I'm so stupid now.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I would feel stupider.
I would feel so inferior.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that happens in this
That
episode.
happens to me with most people as well, though, so it's not even a great comparison.
Well, you're welcome for that. I'm sorry that my brain's so big.
Haha. Sorry.
Haha.
I don't know what that was.
As the doctor runs off, is it as he runs off inside the house that we see the spray paint? The kid who's like, I'm going to write Bad Wolf on your TARDIS.
Oh.
I think it's as he runs in, the camera comes up and the kid walks over and starts.
I want to say it's after this, but I might be wrong.
It might be after he's said it's been 12 months. Because then there's the opening titles,
It's another one of their cut out sides. So
Yeah.
I think it is, after the credits, maybe. Whatever, I can't find it specifically, but, it
Yeah,
happens.
I think
It
it's
happens in
now.
there.
I think it's now that Bad Wolf's spray painted on the TARDIS, which, hey, Bad Wolf again. Is it in every episode from now on?
Not everyone, I don't think, but I think it is in... Because I don't think there's anything in the next episode, but I suppose this one kind of counts for that.
Yeah, because he makes the kid clean it.
Yeah.
So it will be in the next episode.
I
in some
don't think
form.
there's anything in Father's Day.
I can't remember what there's anything in Father's Day, Long Game.
There is in Long Game,
Is
yeah.
there?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's another, very brief
It's not on
one,
screen.
though.
Is it on one of the monitors?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Something is reporting from Bad Wolf TV.
Yeah, okay. Right. I do
But
remember
I
that vaguely.
believe Father's Day is the only episode that doesn't have it.
Right. Well, I'm not going to go through the whole season. Doesn't matter.
No.
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
Actually, yeah, that's a fair point. I don't know about Empty Child and Dr. Dancers.
They didn't have Bad Wolves back in the 1930s and 40s.
Only good wolves.
Only good boys. Oh, 14 out of 10 good boys. It's fine.
Then the policeman comes in.
A policeman does come in, and he's straight into, you banging.
Yeah, listen, you two.
When you say companion, is that a banging
Is it
thing?
sexual?
What? No. Would you like it to be? They both, share a look, you.
Oh my god, what do you do if, one of them says no and one of them says yes?
Well,
It'd be brutal.
it's like that thing
It's
when
like at the end of a dating show, where they're like, do you want to see each other again?
I don't want to get in that box. Do you know when you make a new friend or you first start seeing someone and you're too scared to say no to something and you're like, yeah, I will if you will, and you settle on the well if you do it, I'll do it.
Yeah.
And that's what this is.
They ask you a question, you're like, whatever you want.
Yeah, so they're like, is this a sexual thing? It's like, no. Do you want it to be? Kinda.
Maybe a little bit.
Maybe in his next face, I'll do it.
Yeah.
That sounded way worse out loud than it did in my head. Ew. Oh.
Maybe the slap that the doctor got should have been for you for that comment.
I'd have enjoyed that.
Jackie
No!
Tyler's
Oh, yeah,
name.
I didn't know. Oi.
Inappropriate.
Extremely. If anyone I know is listening to this, I don't care.
Jackie Tyler has a mean right hook. And the thing that's funny is that it actually doesn't even look like she hits him at all.
I mean, of course she didn't.
It looks like she... No, but I mean, it doesn't even look like she was going to hit him. It looks like she completely misses him.
It's a big reel back that doesn't quite go. I mean, we didn't watch the confidential for this. The last one we haven't watched the confidentials in a minute. But I do want to get back to doing that, by the way. I don't know if you do, but I do.
Yeah, no, that's fine. That's fine.
Because I would like to see whether this is an actual connection. I know that in some shows, some actors are just like, just hit me, it's fine.
Yeah.
I don't know if Eccleston is one of those kinds of actors. I can't imagine it would be a nice thing to be like, you can actually hurt me.
Yeah, well, I mean, you'd probably just do a light slap, wouldn't you? If someone said actually slap me, you'd probably just still try and hold back a little bit.
Jim Carrey did it in Man on the Moon. He got slapped by, is it Jerry Lawler, the wrestler man? Is that his name?
Jerry the King Lawler?
Yeah. In Man on the Moon.
I haven't seen it, so I don't know. But Jerry Lawler, yes, he is a wrestler.
He slapped Andy Kaufman in an interview once. And so when they did the biopic with Jim Carrey, Man on the Moon,
Got a slap.
he like open palm slaps Jim Carrey, and behind the scenes Jim Carrey was like, oh, the director hasn't said anything. He's like, actually hit me, like actually do it. And the connection, Jim Carrey like hits the ground and has to like scuttle away. It looks so
Did he do a
brutal.
little pain curl?
Properly, like
Nice.
it looks so brutal, and I'm pretty sure they used the take in the movie, but I don't think Camille Kajuri would do that to Christopher Eccleston. Wouldn't we look stupid if we watched the Confidential and that's exactly what happened, and she actually reeled back and hit him?
She was like, "Can I just drop kick him instead?" And they're like, "No, we think a slap will do."
I don't see the point that in like the slap actually connecting, because they're out of focus in the background and it's more focused on Rose. So imagine doing that and then being like, oh, we didn't really catch you getting hit, and you just got hit for no reason.
Yeah, sorry, never mind. Rose likes it a little bit.
Say again?
Rose likes it a little bit.
She pulls her face.
She does a little like I was gonna just try and make the face, but then I realized this is an audio.
Yeah, this is audible.
This is an audio production.
Production's a word certainly you could use. Wow, good luck. It will be. This will have value soon.
This is a production. We have values. I think that it actually, like, real talk though, this probably sucked real bad for Jackie.
Oh yeah, I don't think that during this little argument, she doesn't set one foot wrong.
No.
Her daughter disappeared for a year one day.
It's the part where she says to Rose when she's, like, sort of taking her off to one side and she's talking to her, and she's like, the part that terrifies me is that you still can't tell me what happened. And obviously we know that that's because of aliens and stuff.
Yeah, and
but
sci-fi.
For Jackie, imagine that. You know, that whole, like, sort of whatever you can think of in your head is worse than anything that anyone could tell you.
Not to forget that the day that she disappeared was also the day that London was attacked by mannequins.
Yeah, London gets attacked by mannequins, and then Jackie gets a phone call, maybe a day later or something, from Rose, where she's like, oh, put a quid in the lottery syndicate, and then all of a sudden it's been a year. But
people were also dying. Like, imagine looking on the lists of the dead to see if your daughter was one of them, and you can't find her or her name anywhere.
Yeah, that's horrible.
Why just say that? Well, I'm just thinking, like,
Thanks.
You look down, you know Rose, but there's Clive.
Oh.
Sorry, I'm not sorry. The bit where she is hugging Rose, and she's like, where were you? And she says it exactly like that. I just think that, in general, people who can cry on command...
So good.
It is, like, that's an insane talent.
Yeah,
I can't even cry
impressive.
I can't even cry when legitimately sad things happen in front of me. I'm just, like, stone-faced, apathetic, just like, okay. So, when someone can
cry all the time.
I don't.
I cry all the time. I'm crying right now. Try and stop me.
Oh, God, you are as well.
I know.
I hate this.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm not doing one of the, like, lip-swallowing kinds, though. It's not a good cry.
Yeah, it's not a good cry. It's not worth it. Why'd you bring it up then?
Sorry.
But when
flex.
when Camille Kajuri cries as Jackie,
I cry.
No, I don't. As we've seen today, I didn't give a shit. When she cries, it's all in the expression. When Billie Piper cries.
Yeah. Oh,
like,
wow.
Jesus.
She opens those floodgates.
I imagine behind the scenes, she's just like, you need me to cry? And they turn around and all of a sudden her cheeks
she's
are
like
red.
Full tears.
She's puffy-eyed, nose running. Everyone's like, well, it's been a second. And she's like, is it good enough? And you're like, whoa, okay, yeah, let's right, action. And they just start shooting at Billie Piper.
I used to always be able to make myself cry with a clip from Doctor Who, which we won't talk about now because it's in a couple of seasons.
Is it a regeneration scene?
No.
It's not.
No.
I hope you realise I'm going to ask about this as soon as we
when it
finish
comes
recording.
up, I'll tell you what it is. But I want to keep you in the suspense for now.
So I can't just cut this next bit and you tell me?
Nah.
Oh.
Nah.
Well, then I guess I have to leave that in.
Yeah. The green screen when they are sat on the roof of that building.
Well, here's my question.
Okay.
I was looking at the edges of these characters because that's what I do. I specifically look at the edges of people. I don't want to look at you, but damn, you got a foxy outline. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? You ever see someone, you're like, look at that outline. Like, I'm looking at the outline of them on the roof, and I couldn't tell whether it was a green screen or, like, a tarp with the city printed on it.
I think it's a green screen purely because of the spaceship.
The shot of the...
Yeah, like, I think it would have to be a green screen for that. But there's something about it, man. The 2005 of it all in all, leaps.
I've seen worse green screens more recently.
Yeah, that bit in Black Widow.
Please don't. Please don't. I mean, in all, just in the first Black Panther, some of the CGI towards the end. I mean, it's unfinished. We when it came out, I don't know if we knew.
Yeah, the PS2 boss fight.
Yeah, I don't know if we knew when it came out, but like a few weeks after or on release, we found out like it wasn't done in time. We just shipped it the way it was, and it's unforgiving. Just delay it like a week or
That's
as
the
long as it
thing.
takes.
People don't
a week or
delay
two.
movies like they delay games, do they?
No, I wish they did, because
Yeah,
a delay.
I'd be fine with that.
A delay is never a bad thing, unless it's. What if they delayed Doctor Who next year?
Well, that's not all right.
I don't want to think about it. I don't want to think. No.
That's not all right at all.
In this scene, Rose also calls the Doctor gay
Yeah, she does.
as an insult,
Yeah, she
as
does.
to say that he's being effeminate or a bit of a wuss.
Because he can't take a slap.
Yeah, because he can't take actual physical pain.
Yeah.
I guess if you can't take physical.
Bloody Jackie Tyson comes out swinging then and he's
Jackie
like,
Tyson.
You're so gay.
Well,
Mate, if I came to your house and your mum just absolutely decked me in the face, you would bet that I would complain about it hurting.
I mean, she will do that. You realise that she would. Like, she will. She will do that.
She can and she will.
I don't like the way you said that. There was excitement in those words.
Yeah.
No. This is also the scene where the Doctor's age is revealed to the audience.
Yeah?
I don't think we've heard
We have not.
before this, right?
No.
Okay, good. That
The
he's
thing is though, so say here's a question that if you haven't seen this show before, like if you know, if you are watching it for the first time and he says that he's 900 years old, is this like, I mean obviously it is a reveal, but do you believe that he's just like what, a man, I don't know how old Christopher Eccleston is, but like a man that age, do you believe that he's a man that age and then when they say 900 you're like, whoa, he's 900? Or do you think like he's an alien, he's probably older anyway?
Well, I mean, Jackie says earlier, like, what is he, 40, 50? Like, she says that. So, yeah, if being 900, I mean, Rose says, she's like, that's one hell of an age gap. She does a that is one hell, and she like does a little nod. He ages a lot over the course of like the next 17 years of television.
It's consistent generally from like era to era, but there is just jumps where it'll be like the Doctor's 900, however, and then all of a sudden it's like I'm 1,000.
Is this just because he's the 9th Doctor they went with 900?
I don't know, but it's like a good number, I think.
For him.
Because I'm sure
Yeah.
later they give him a specific age and they say he's like 903.
911, I think Matt Smith says at one point.
I don't know. I think there's a lot of things.
I think at Lake Silencio he mentions being 911 or 900. No, it won't be 907.
There's a lot of things that they do with numbers that like correspond, and we'll get to those when we see those like later in the show. But there is a lot of things where a number will coincide with what like incarnation of the Doctor it is, and I never really love it.
No. How long is a Gallifrey?
Oh yeah, is he 900 Earth years or Gallifrey years?
Or dog years.
Whoa!
Doctor's a furry.
Don't say that.
So Rose is having a little monologue to herself.
Yeah.
Rose monologues and she says, I'm the only person on Earth who knows about any of this. I've seen it all.
Yeah, I
and
can't
then,
tell anyone about it.
And then an alien spaceship, just like comedic timing, is like, right on cue,
I wonder
guys.
what the odds of that would be.
Right on cue. I mean, it just like spins out of nowhere. The shadow goes over. And she looks annoyed that this is no longer her thing.
Yeah, she says, oh, that's just not fair.
Is that what she actually says?
Yeah.
Have you got that listed?
Yeah, I have. Yeah, it flies over, they kind of like duck under it, and then she stands up and she goes, oh, that's just not fair.
The chances of that happening are so slim.
I know, right? Like,
But also, it's a little hokey, and I do kind of like
I
it.
like
for
it.
the silly show. And it is silly. We know this because, you know what? We'll talk about it in about 20 minutes, maybe 10, maybe 5, maybe 3.
when the ship does fly over, the subtitle as it smashes through Big Ben just says, Big Ben bongs.
If you're watching this on BBC iPlayer.
If you're watching this on BBC
Yeah,
iPlayer.
that's where you'll... Some of the subtitles on this are really good.
There's another one that I have made a note of because it was absolutely superb. Like another one towards the end of the episode.
Oh, towards the end?
Yeah.
Okay.
Which obviously
yeah.
I will bring it up when we get there, but it really, really tickled me.
I like the Slitheen ship as it's flying, because it does fly for quite a while.
It does, yeah.
The helicopter shots that they clearly use to act as like a point of view for the ship.
Which I like as well. I think that's fun.
I mean, I imagine it's strictly a money-saving thing. Because the way you could have done this is had a big shadow and then the initial shot, and then literally just a POV shot, and then the crash, and it wouldn't have mattered not having any of the in-betweens. You'd have had to have the spaceship being introduced over Billy Piper and
that
Eccleston,
one, like over the roof, yeah.
the crash into Big Ben,
Yeah.
then the crash into the Thames. Those are the 3 main shots, but all of the interim ones where it's just flying through the city, you don't need
It
those.
does fly for a long time.
Yeah, but if you would just use the POV, then you can save yourself some money, and then they come back and they go, oh, we've got some spare money, throw a few extra shots in there.
Apparently this episode was very bad for money as well.
Or was it?
in
Like
terms
really
of-
high?
Yeah. Same with time as well. I'm sure I don't have it noted down anywhere because I read it once in like a Doctor Who behind the scenes type book a while ago. And apparently these 2 episodes messed up a lot of the next like block of filming.
Well, it's basically a movie, isn't it? Two-parters are just films.
It's like, what, an hour and a half?
Total,
for this story,
roughly,
essentially,
yeah.
Do you know what is funny? Which, I mean, obviously, a little bit of movie magic here, but obviously it's CGI. There's no actual massive fucking alien spaceship. But what's really funny is that in the shots of London, where it's flying over it, you can see people in the distance just walking down the street.
Not caring.
Just not caring at all.
I didn't notice that. I was too busy looking at the gigantic spaceship just in the air.
Oh yeah, there is one shot specifically where it kind of like goes over a street and you can see people walking down like the pavement on either side of the road and just not caring at all.
Can you imagine if that actually happened? Like, imagine the Phoenix Lights things happens in America and everyone's just like, cool.
Yeah,
no one takes video, no one takes a picture, no one calls the emergency services. Everyone's just like, lights in the sky. This happens whenever that happened.
This is getting a real problem now.
Do they go straight down to the ground to look at this from the ground level near the Thames?
They do. It flies overhead, they immediately run away, and then Doctor says that he can't take the TARDIS there because he doesn't want to just drop like another spaceship on. And the thing is that when he says this, the road's closed off and you can see unit soldiers at the other end.
Mm-hmm.
And then Rose is like, we can just take the TARDIS. And then while like looking at them, he says, it's best not to. And I don't know, like, if this is the thing that I'm reading into this or if this is the way that it's, like, intended to be. But I feel like that implication there for a little bit is he doesn't want to go there because he doesn't want UNIT to know who he is. Because obviously if UNIT saw the TARDIS, they'd go, hey, it's the Doctor.
Yeah, and they don't know this face yet.
Yeah.
I mean, that makes sense. But doesn't he take the TARDIS to...
He takes the TARDIS to the hospital later.
Yeah, not the actual ship. Which is odd, because he could have just gone and looked at the crashed ship.
Realistically, he could have taken it to the ship. It's not like Nightcrawler where he's got to see where he's going to get there.
Yeah, he's like, I want to be here.
Just go anywhere. They do a little bit of a montage because Rose says that they can just do what everyone else does and watch it on TV. And this marks the first appearance of one of my favourite side characters, who is the American woman who's like the presenter for the like news presenter.
Yeah,
I really like her. She only ever shows up in like news reports of horrible alien things happening, and every time she does, I'm like, it's you.
Imagine if she, like whenever she's on screen, it's just the caption is alien correspondent.
Yeah,
and like
she's earned the title.
Slowly just gets promoted, and each time it's a different title. It just says alien overlord by the end. Before this American news anchor lady comes in, the Doctor, Rose is asking the Doctor a lot of questions, like, why is it crashing? Did you know this was going to happen? Do you know what kind of ship it is? And he's just like, nope. And he looks so ecstatic to not know something.
He is. I've said it before, I'll say it again. He is beaming.
Fill the cheeks beaming.
Every time she asks him a question, he's like, nope.
It's one of those things, I think it happens as well in Midnight, where when the Doctor doesn't know something, he gets so excited.
Yeah, that's like his... Well, it's like he says to her, he's like, this is why I travel, to see history happen right in front of me.
I love that for him.
The thing is, this guy probably has a lot of his brain taken up by just things. Like, think about how many just things that you know.
How many? I don't know many things. You're overestimating me.
How many things do you know?
About 8.
That's a generous estimate.
You can't hear a scowl, but trust me.
Yeah.
I'm given one.
There's a horrible face.
That's just my face.
I'll find a new co-host if you don't stop making that face.
It's just my face. It's just my face. I'm not even pulling a weird face.
No.
Just being rude.
I'm just horrible.
Yeah, I'm just trying to do a fun thing. And
Yeah. They go back to the flat then.
Listen,
to see it on TV.
Right, back on track.
Yeah.
This stops now.
Sorry.
I'm being serious. I'm being dead serious.
Sorry.
I'm even going to cut this. This is staying in. Because I just need the world to know that I'm not the one.
Why'd you just hit me?
What? No! I'm not the one doing it. Oh, you motherfucker! Oh, that was some... Ooh! I hate you! It's a dirty way to play the game, and I respect it.
Thank you. Then they go to the flat, right? And then there's the little montage of all of the channels being flicked through.
Man, make cake.
Yeah, the thing is, they go to this Blue Peter guy who's like, here's how to make your own little alien cake.
How fast?
And yeah, he pulls out the here's one I made earlier as well. When? When was earlier?
When did...
The Slitheen didn't like
what if he's
ring
Slitheen?
ahead.
What if he's a Slitheen?
Oh, well, there you go. Hey, that expert they bring in, he's a guy, what do they say, for like sugar levels?
Yeah.
There you go.
What if this Blue Peter man is a Slitheen and they're like, we're going to take down the government, and he's like, I just want to bake cakes.
Yeah.
That's all
he's
I
like,
wanna
don't
do is
include
bake
me in the
cakes.
family business. He's the black sheep.
The whole Slitheen are like, right, we're going to take over this world and we're going to, pillage it of its resources. And this one Slitheen is like, guys, look what I found it. And between his big, spindly, horrible claws, he's holding the smallest Mr. Kipling angel slice he's ever seen. And he's just like, nope. And the other Slitheen are like, right, we're doing world-ending things here. And he's like, it's so fluffy, it tastes so good.
He's like, yo, this has just changed the trajectory of my whole life.
And Fotch, Pasameer-Day, whatever the name is like, we've got a world to take over. And he's like, I need to figure out what's in this. And while they spend maybe like 3 or 4 weeks just invading Parliament and planting themselves in the British hierarchy of politicians.
This guy's learning how to temper chocolate.
This one dude is like, flour? I don't know. And like, whilst he's doing the most innocent thing in the world, baking cakes, he's skinning men alive so that he can get a televised cake going.
The devil works hard, but Blue Peter works harder.
It does. I never watched Blue Peter, you know.
No, I didn't either.
Everyone would always be like, oh, do you want a Blue Peter badge? And I'd be like, I do not understand this reference.
Years ago, for Halloween, and also, I say for Halloween, this is just a thing that I generally want to put together at some point, but I was trying to get an Ace cosplay together, and, like, obviously the hardest part of it is the jacket. And one of the hardest things one of the parts that I wanted was, like, the Blue Peter badges, and I remember being astounded at the difficulty that it took to get the Blue Peter badges that she had.
Now, imagine it. I think a lot of cosplay stuff's difficult, as fun as it looks, and I would do it. I'm just like, it all looks so expensive.
There's a lot of those badges, because the thing is, she's got the classic Blue Peter badge.
Can you not just get the jacket? Oh,
this one. It's like the white background with like the blue ship, but then she's got another one which is this but inverse, where it's like the blue background and the white ship, and that was the one that was such a bitch to find that in the end, I couldn't have got it. You never
got the Ace.
Watch out.
Ace about.
Hey, God, I wish she was.
She still is. She's still doing things. Yeah. You know, like one-off episodes of Doctor Who.
Also, while this little TV interlude is going on, when the new members start arriving and he says, the presenter says that thing about that guy being the head of sugar levels in exported confectionery or whatever.
And that he's not important?
Yeah, hardly the most important person right now. Dude, you can't say that on live TV.
Is he not the what is it? Is it Deputy Prime Minister? Is that what you would say? Because he's acting VP by the time they go in. So this non-important dude is acting Prime Minister by the time he walks through that door.
Joseph Green, MP for Hartleydale, Chairman of the Parliamentary Commission on the Monitoring of Sugar Standards in Exported Confectionery.
Hardly the most important person.
But he just say with respect. So, I mean, I guess that just, it's with respect.
I kind of understand it.
It's like when you say, no offence, it's all right.
Yeah, everything you say after that point, you can't be mad about it. I mean, legally, it doesn't even in court. They're like, yeah, you can't. You said no offense. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
When they go inside, and this is one of the things that I often forget about Doctor Who.
They go inside where?
Inside the 10 Downing Street. The camera. We go inside after the news report.
We
go
inside.
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, we're inside.
Yeah,
yes.
Sorry, I was confused.
Take yourself there.
We go inside a lot of places in this episode. I don't know if you know this, but this episode is a lot of places.
It is.
There is many locations here.
A lot of exposition too.
Yes.
However, when they go inside, this is a reminder that this is a children's show.
They don't even go inside yet. There's a bit before this.
Is there?
There is, yeah. It's when the Doctor is leaving the party, and he's like, "Oh, I gotta go," and then he gives Rose a TARDIS key. Unless I didn't take any notes on the other part, in which case,
you didn't.
Yes,
I'm right.
They do go inside.
Because I have the key thing written down.
Okay.
So when they go inside 10 Downing Street, I always forget that Doctor Who is a kids show because I'm just so enveloped by it every time I watch it.
Yeah.
That when these aliens just start relentlessly farting, and it's like an unavoidable thing. It's like, I don't want to talk about it because it sounds like childish and dumb. And I'm like, yes, it is. It's meant to be because it's a show for children.
Yeah.
Children are meant to be going into school and being like, did you see the
aliens
big green alien
and stuff?
They're scary, but they fart. Haha, alien did a pump. All right, we get it. And I hate that word too.
Pump.
Stop.
Sorry. I don't like toilet humour or gross out humour. I just think it's stupid, and it just
I'm not a huge fan of it.
It doesn't like, I'm not even entertained by it. I just hate it. Like, anytime I'm watching something and you go there for a joke, I'm just like, okay. And like, I understand that people like it.
Just wait for it to end.
Yeah, but it's just not my bag.
Yeah, I'm the same. I'm just like, I understand. Like, if it happens once, okay. But then you've got 3 of them in a room together, and they're all laughing maniacally, but also farting. And you get that
bit where Margaret does it, and she says the line where she goes, "I'm shaking my booty," and then she just starts absolutely shitting her pants. And it's awful.
I didn't expect you to go that way.
It's just horrible.
I thought you were going to say, then she absolutely starts shaking it. And I was going to be like, okay. But instead you were like...
Then she backs it
You're
up.
like, this alien is sharting all over.
The thing is, I don't even hate the Slitheen.
No, I don't.
It's just
I love
that
them.
one thing that I'm like, why, man?
Because they've also got, like, they've got a really cool design.
They do. I like.
They
I
look
like the
threatening.
design.
Their plan is legitimately serious.
Oh yeah, that's the thing as well though. In terms of alien plans that we've seen so far, the Slitheen have the best one because essentially they get it off.
Ew.
Sorry.
Yeah. They get off in the. We don't. What's it? We don't have an Oval Office. What do we call it?
I don't know. I don't think the specific room that the Prime Minister like sits in, like how the president works out the Oval Office.
The rhombus room.
So the rhombus room.
Yeah, like
Is it not this though? Is it not the cabinet rooms?
Not anymore.
Do you want me to Google it?
You can, but I'm still gonna
do it for myself.
I'm still gonna call it the rhombus room.
The UK Prime Minister doesn't have a fixed room as his or her office. Number 10 has the cabinet rooms, but PMs generally choose one of the rooms next door as their offices, depending on their preference.
That's fine. That's okay.
Yeah.
Still gonna call it the rhombus room.
But like the cabinet room is essentially the equivalent, right? In terms of this is where the political business happens, I guess.
Yeah. Because they have the Oval Office in America where people would, like, the president used to make speeches from there. Yeah. You would see it, and now they just make them go outside. Like, politicians now can't make indoor speeches anymore. I know there was a few during the pandemic and stuff,
yeah.
But other than that, it's like, go stand out on the front in the middle of the road.
Be like, no, it's raining. Oh, my hair got wet.
You know what happens when I hit the air? It's humid. I'll go fuzzy on screen. I don't want that.
Oh, yeah, because our prime ministers have a real problem with looking, respectable.
That's true. How many people are we going to have annoyed with that? We go inside, they're watching the news again, and the doctor is fighting a kid for the remote.
Yeah, right?
He's like battling a child. He's like, I just want to watch the news. And the kid's like, I want to watch cartoons.
I love the idea that, like, in anything, not just in Doctor Who, but the idea that this, like, incredibly powerful, incredibly ancient, wise man is just bested by just a child.
For a TV remote of all things. He doesn't do much fist fighting, to be fair, so he's surprised
he
he's like...
turns around at the kid and he's like, oosh!
Jesus! Just like nuts him. Do you know when the Doctor does that thing in a later season where he nuts his own memories into someone's head? I mean, when I say nut, I mean headbutt. He doesn't nut memories into someone the way that you might be thinking. Oh, no. Craig, I'm going to give you my memories. Okay, how do we do it? Lay down. What? Lay down.
This is how we do it.
This is how we do
That's
it.
how they do it on Gallifrey.
He's got the big spinny thing on the bed and he's like, just takes it off the bed and he's like, get on there.
Don't worry about it.
What are you going to do? I'm going to put my memories in you. What? Don't worry about it. Oh, no. Yeah, so he's like, imagine if he's fighting the kid for this remote and he headbutts the kid and the kid gets 900 years worth of information just thrown into his little tiny...
This kid sees the Time War happen, like that in his own mind.
This little kid's sitting down with PTSD to watch Blue Peter. His mum's like, you okay? And he's just like, don't touch me.
That's when I make cakes, man.
Maybe make cakes. He makes a Dalek cake and she's like, this is inventive. Where do you get this from? And he's like, I don't know.
I don't know, but I can't stop thinking about it. Do you know what is a little bit of a double standard here?
What?
When the Doctor leaves the party and Rose is like, where are you going? And he says, it was a bit too human in there. But in End of the World, when she's like, there's an alien in there, he's like, all right.
Was rude.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is alien in there, because there's aliens in there.
Yeah, and the thing is, right, Rose has not met aliens before that point, like, really.
That's true.
The Doctor's met humans before.
Oh, he spent so long with them.
The Doctor spent years and years of his life travelling with humans, and he's like, oh, it's a bit human.
And then, is this also where he gives her the TARDIS key?
Yeah.
What's with that?
I think it's more of a symbolic thing than an actual practical thing.
Imagine if, me and you became, friends in March of this year. Imagine if, right around the end of summer, right before uni started again, I was like, here's a key to my house because we're friends. And,
I'd be like, what am I supposed to do with this?
Yeah. It means you're welcome literally anytime. I wake up and find that my room has been ransacked. The TV's gone. Every console I have is gone.
All your Lego.
All my Lego, my own covers. I'm just laid in bed in my pajamas, cold, and I'm like, what happened? And there's just a sticky note left from you, and it just says, cheers for the key.
Yeah. The thing is, though, the idea that you would give me a key and then it's because you welcome me in my house as if I wasn't already.
Imagine if, you come into uni with one of my beanies and you're like, oh, how are you? And I'm like, not so good, I've been robbed. And I, just as I look up in the middle of the word robbed, I see you wearing my hat. And I'm like, I've been robbed. and I'm just seeing you wearing my things, and I just know that you've done it, and you're like, oh, it's I hope they get him. I hope they get the person that did this to you.
It's a horrible, horrible crime. But yeah, it really feels like the reason that he gives that. Because the thing is, like, I don't imagine there's very many times where she's going to, like, not be with him and she's going to need the key actually as a practical thing. I think it is just more of a symbolic thing to just be like, look, here, by the way,
I trust you now.
It's a trust thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, hypothetically, you could be, you could use this, but you probably won't need to because I'll be around.
And as much as no human really flies the TARDIS, I also hate the idea of people being able to fly the TARDIS that isn't the Doctor. I don't know. I just don't like
on their own. I don't like it.
I just don't like that idea.
I'm fine with the idea of the Doctor being like, do this, push this button.
Yeah.
And then they push the button or whatever. That's fine.
There is a wholesome bit where that kind of happens.
Yeah,
in,
and it's
in
sweet.
later season.
It's
and
very sweet.
It's really nice. For this, if you can't fly the TARDIS and you get stranded somewhere and you're like, well, at least the Doctor gave me the key. What are you meant to do? Just live there forever, I guess.
Yeah. The TARDIS has it all.
Yeah.
The TARDIS has a swimming pool in the library. Do you not think they've got like a fully decked out games room?
Unless you're Clara, in which case the TARDIS fucking hates you.
TARDIS knows what's up, man.
TARDIS really fucking hates Clara.
TARDIS knew what was up with her.
We'll talk about it when we get to season 7. 7 is Clara? Yes.
Yes.
Is Clara.
Journey to the Center of the TARDIS.
And this is number 1.
I think it's hilarious that, aliens have just invaded and everyone's just having a big sesh.
Yeah.
Imagine the pubs that night.
I'm glad that there's no, like, well-made banners. It's all just spray painted.
Yeah, like on a dirty bedsheet.
It's like a horrible...
That one that says L-O-E-T.
Yeah.
Yeah, so good.
Hello. Hey up.
E.T.
Hey up, extraterrestrial. What's up?
Now then, lad. I'll do.
Now then, geezer.
Everyone shoots Harriet Jones down back in Parliament when she's trying to get her little bill passed. But at the end of the day, no one's wrong when they're all like, hey, get some perspective, Harriet.
Well, she should.
Yeah.
Harriet Jones was introduced before anything we've talked about. But it's okay. MP, Flydale North, is all she says.
I love that she always gives her full title.
Oh,
I know that is the joke, but I love it.
Imagine walking in somewhere and I'm just like, Tyrese Hogan, 22, university student, creative writing. What is the year that you started in? What's that called? Doesn't matter. 2021. Started you 20, graduated 2023. Just like every time someone sees me.
Best at chicken.
Can I just mention something really unfortunate that I did throughout this whole episode?
Absolutely fucking not.
This has been Doctor Who Rewind.
Signing off for the last time.
4 in. 4
Far
out.
and done, as I always say.
Well, I skipped the last 3 as per the bit in the beginning of the last episode. I, in my notes, just to speed up when I was writing about this episode when we were going through this, didn't want to write Harriet Jones because it's a very long name.
Yeah.
She is in my notebook forever now as HJ.
HJ.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's who she is.
Hand job. Did you not click on that at all when I said it?
No, I didn't.
I also realised that if you
Good
put...
job her name's not Barriet.
Barriet! Was that the best you could do? It's a good job. It's a good job her name's not Barriet Jones. Name of my first son now. If I ever have children. Oh, Barriet Jones. You put so much feeling into that. You filled your cheeks on the way to that B.
Please say anything else.
Please take us away.
So, I mean, I don't think it's directly after this, but they go to the hospital, and Dr. Sato, she just sat in the dark.
This is the first time we see Dr. Sato.
Yes.
And this isn't when we don't see the alien yet, do we?
It's on the table. And she kind of peels...
Oh yeah, she shows it, doesn't she?
She's shown, like, it's shown, but we as an audience do not see it. Because we're not supposed to know what the alien looks like.
Yeah, of course. When this happens, it's like, it's all very blue. Anything medical is always very, very blue.
Yeah.
TARDIS is green.
She just sits herself in the dark, and she just is working on something.
She just rips open this alien, crawls inside it, and runs around in it.
This is also when the doctor comes in. And a thing that I've never noticed before... so the doctor leaves Rose and the party and such, and then he goes to the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
And when he walks in, he's immediately confronted by like a bunch of shoulders.
A bunch of shoulders.
I didn't realise before not that it's like a hidden thing, I'm just dumb, that they were unit soldiers. So then when he's trying to get them to mobilize and he goes defense pattern delta.
Yeah, he knows.
It's like, oh, you know.
Did you not realise?
I didn't realise that, no.
Oh. Well,
I just assumed before they were just regular soldiers and that he just is knowledgeable about stuff like that, but, you know.
Imagine if they were regular shoulders and he shouted and he was... Shoulders. I just said shoulders as well. You've done this to me. Cheers, Barriet. Like, let's not go back there. If they were just regular soldiers and he's like, defense pattern delta, and because they're not part of unit, that means nothing to them. And they're all just like...
They kind of just look at each other like, you go first, I guess.
This is... So before the scream happens, I think... It is before the scream happens.
Yes.
Mickey.
Oh, Mickey.
Mickey. That's all fine. Moving on from Mickey. No, I do want to talk about Mickey for a sec.
Yeah, that's fine.
But Mickey in this part, I feel genuinely bad for him, like as a character, because I can see why people often obviously go to the boyfriend when someone goes missing, or the girlfriend if it's a guy that goes missing. The significant other is the one that normally gets the blame.
How heteronormative of you.
I'm really trying. Okay, partner. See, I like the word partner because it's just so non-specific. But I also can't help thinking that when someone's like, my partner's at home, there's some dude from a saloon just sitting there spitting into an empty bucket like, ting. Like, so I struggle, okay? But I feel bad for him. Like, I genuinely just feel like it's been a year. 5 times he was taken in for questioning for the murder of a girl who just isn't around, and he didn't actually kill her.
And you know as well that, I mean, I assume that him and Rose, just as being a couple, have like a shared group of friends.
Yeah.
Because most couples do.
That we'll all assume the worst.
Shireen's not spoken to him in a year.
No, Shireen. No, Shireen's forgiving. Shireen will understand.
Do you think?
Yeah.
Do you think Shireen would forgive Mickey if he was accused of murdering her best friend?
Well, I mean, Shireen did once say pity the Gelf.
Yeah, that's true.
So I think
she's got a sympathetic side.
Yeah.
Shireen.
She's war Shireen. You know she is. This isn't about their relationship yet because I don't think that's mentioned because we are all over the place today.
Yeah, we are.
But when he hears the noise of the TARDIS and he runs into the garage door thing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Does he always fall like a cartoon?
Everything that he does is very cartoonish. Like, I'm not even going to lie. He gets his whole bit with the bin, obviously.
He has
very cartoonish.
Plenty of stopping distance between him, the TARDIS, and the garage door or whatever it is, storage unit, whatever it might be. Plenty of stopping time. When he hits it, he doesn't just hit it and is like, whoa. He hits it, falls on his back to a point where his own knees are above his shoulders. It's almost like you expect him to walk into it, take a step back, and have little tiny cartoon birds flying around in circles over his head. And he's like doing that weird swivel of the neck thing, and his shoulders are moving, and that might sound weird on the audio because I'm actually moving. When the Doctor does initially sneak in, before he meets like Sato and stuff. To
the hospital.
Yeah, and he uses the sonic screwdriver on the door. He tells it to shush, and it does!
It's Sonic.
It goes, he goes, shh, and it goes,
it's Sonic.
Yeah.
Realistically, that is...
Meaning it has to make sound.
Yeah.
Telling it to shush.
It's probably the most accurate use of it being a sonic screwdriver, to be fair.
What, telling it to
Are
be
you
quiet?
implying that the sonic screwdriver can't have a voice command?
I don't want it to be alive. That really unnerves me. Because the voice command is just shh.
It's like going Alexa volume down.
But it's not though, is it? It's different.
It's different
not.
Space.
It's different. It's a space doohickey. Well, next thing you're gonna go loud, and it's gonna be like bah, like what?
No, because it's not a fucking sheep.
Might be though.
All right.
The next Sonic.
We'll never know. The Slitheen do a murder.
Yeah, who is it? They murdered
General Asquith.
Oh, poor
Asquith.
Because
he's just a guy who is in charge, and he says that he will put the country under martial law unless they take things seriously. And then they kill him.
Oh, and the man who sounds like the Churchill dog he's like, I'm shaking. It's hair raising. He does all that, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does.
Hair raising.
Because, do you know what as well, though?
Literally, hair raising.
The Slitheen confuse me because...
Where do their zips go?
That's the thing. They have zips.
Where do their zips go?
There's a clear zip. But when the policeman...
He takes his hat off.
There is one. There is a clear zip line. But when anyone else does it, and I'm pretty sure it's only Margaret who has any kind of fringe. So what I'm saying basically is that the best idea for Slitheen in terms of disguises is to grow full emo fringes, full MySpace fringe to keep your shit a secret.
Because tonight will be the night that I unzip for you. I love that this like the zip prosthetic is obviously it's just gonna be like a thin layer of glue or something.
Yeah,
it's not gonna be a laborious prosthetic to do.
Well, aside from
so they
just
always hold it on whilst they do that. They put like 2 or 3 fingers against the actual prosthetic itself and then pull the zip. And I imagine if they didn't do that, they would just pull the whole prosthetic off, and it would just peel off like dead skin. Yeah, because when the Prime Minister is first introduced and we see Harriet Jones...
No, the Prime Minister's missing.
No, the acting Prime Minister, Mr. Green. This is what I thought was funny. He's a Slitheen.
Yeah.
He's called Mr. Green.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah.
I don't want to, like, point out comedy, but that,
Listen.
Leads to the ha-ha.
If I was in disguise... No, do you know what this is? This is the whole thing. Like, not to be... Like, I've brought up a few comparisons this episode already, I don't even care. But you know in Iron Man 2, when Black Widow comes in, and, like, I know it's just an alias she has, but she's like, hi, my name is Natalie Rushman.
Like, what is that doing?
That's so bad.
What is that doing? Who you fooling?
You could accidentally get that wrong and just say her actual name. Like, imagine if, like, Tony turned around and he was like, oh, Natasha, and then she's like, whoa! What the fuck did you just say?
Back on track. We'll go back to this is the pig section.
Yes. Back at the hospital, there is a part where the doctor comes in and he's talking to Dr. Sato about it.
Yes.
And she does a whole thing where she's like, aliens, faking aliens? But why? And she's like doing a little think about it for a sec. Yeah. And the thing is, this character is actually Tosh from Torchwood. It's the same actress, but then they're kind of like retconned in.
Okay.
That it was actually the same character, like Tosh is actually there. And obviously at the time, it's just a comment. But retrospectively, it's kind of fun, I guess, that she is also like an alien investigator and she's like, hang on a minute, now I gotta think about this.
Because I haven't seen any of Torchwood, so I guess I'll see that when we get to it. Because that's after the pig has died, when they bring the body back in. Yeah. Right? Because...
Yeah, when the doctor is like, this is just a pig.
He does his angry again.
Yeah.
And I like it when the doctor gets angry because he shoots the army fella, that's what I'm going to call him, shoots the pig, and the doctor's just like, it was scared. What were you, like, what was going through your mind?
Yeah.
This thing is like, what, 2 feet tall, 3 feet tall. It's not going to hurt you. What was your end goal here?
He has a really sweet moment with it as well, where after he's been shot, he's dying, and he's kind of like laid with it.
Which the doctor does quite often.
That's just doctor moment, I think.
Whenever something is dying, if it's not something that's like harmed anyone or not.
But even then, sometimes.
Well, yeah, when it's not purposefully harmed anyone, he will like not. Obviously, he's not nursing it back to health, but he is sitting with whatever it is whilst it dies, because this is the part where like her wound is so small too. When he shows up to help after he hears her scream.
Oh yeah, she's got like Delta, a little like...
She's like the smallest little...
Yeah, like, you know, I doubt that the pig even did that. She probably bumped her own head.
Yeah, probably not. Because when the pig is dead and they discuss like the mermaid and how it all worked, because he says like, oh, why would they it's her, isn't it? It says like, why would they fake an invasion or fake a crash? And she turns around and
he's gone.
And he's gone. He's done a full Batman Gordon on her and has just disappeared completely. There's dramatic wind blowing the little flaps.
His like jacket around his shoulder and he's like, into the night.
She's like, why would anyone fake an invasion? There's fog around her. He's set off a little smoke bomb and he's dashed out the room. And she's like, why would anyone set the room? Doctor? And he's just nowhere to be seen at all.
He's got places to be. Like, back at the party. They go back to the party again after he's been here.
This is where the Mickey bit happens. We did get it in the wrong order. It is, we did. This is where the Mickey bit happens.
There is also a part which I think is like a slightly off-screen part where they're making a toast and Jackie goes, "Here's to the Martians."
Yeah, she's walking away. She's like, "To the Martians."
Also, I don't know if you noticed this, but there's just some random goth.
Yeah.
In Jackie's house.
Is that Shireen?
God, I hope so. That would be so funny to me if that was Shireen.
So, sadly, I have found out that Shireen never makes an on-screen appearance ever.
We've got a surname for her, though.
Do we?
Shireen Costello. Affiliated with Rose Tyler.
But there was a Shireen in Doctor Who, apparently.
Yeah, knock knock. One of Bill's friends.
I do like that actress, though. She's also cool. The one who plays Shireen later on.
They leave the party. They go outside.
Yeah, because Mickey tells Rose that the doctor's...
Yeah, he has like a really smug moment about it.
Off.
Yeah, he gets a little bit like, oh, and he's left you, by the way. Ha ha ha, isn't that funny?
Yeah. He's left you, Rose.
And when they go outside, Rose is rocking yet another stunning 2005 outfit. She's got the pink graphic tee. She's got the white
that what it
leather
was?
jacket over. Yep. With the bootcut jean. They're not even bootcut. They're almost flared, these jeans that she's wearing.
I don't know fashion, so these words don't mean much to me. I'm like, jeans are jeans.
She also has one very small, thin, little tiny braid in her hair as well.
Does she?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
she
no,
does.
yeah, that's very naughty of her too.
Mm.
Yeah, because when Mickey walks out, he does like a real man walk, like arms going and all sorts. He's like,
He Vince McMahon's on out of
yeah,
there.
no, he does. Yeah, he's he proper gives it a little bit of pizzazz, gives her some flair to it. I genuinely do kind of hate that I like Mickey in this scene. Obviously, when they go back downstairs, the TARDIS isn't there, and then she says, I don't know if you have this quoted.
I don't think so.
That Mickey says something about what kind of boyfriend is he, and she says she's more important.
Some boyfriend he turned out to be. He wouldn't just go. He promised me.
Wait.
And then Mickey says, "Oh, he's dumped you, Rose."
Stop. I'll be Rose. What do you mean?
He says he's left you. Some boyfriend he turned out to be.
Rose runs out of the flat. Mickey follows her. He wouldn't just go. He promised me.
Oh, he's dumped you, Rose.
Oh, he's dumped you, Rose.
Sailed off into space. How does it feel, her? Now you are left behind with the rest of us Earthlings. Get used to it.
I can't go on with that. I'm so sorry.
And then Jackie comes out and says, "What are you two chimps going on about?"
Camille Kajuri, love of my life.
Yeah, he's not because he gave me this. Obviously, the TARDIS key.
Yeah.
He's not my boyfriend, Mickey. He's better than that. He's much more important than that.
What does that mean? What does that mean?
Right?
I have stared into
She
the
just
eyes
wants
of
to
God.
wreck this man.
She just like she's been gone a year. The night she comes back, she's tearing him down.
Right?
And he's like, people thought
This
I
is
actually
it. This
killed
is the
you.
question where it's like, to be fair though, after a comment like that, if he did kill her,
Katie.
they're like, well, you know, he had the motive.
Katie.
I'm not saying he should have done it, but you know.
Is that your line? Is that where your line is?
Apparently, yeah. Jackie goes into the TARDIS for the first time now.
And she just fucks off. She's like, nope, not for
Can't do
me, not for me.
Yep, she runs back inside and she starts phoning this helpline that they've got. And while she's on the phone, the TV is on in the background, and it says, as the crisis continues and the government shows remarkable lack of leadership, paranoia sweeps the country. Ha ha ha. What does that remind you of? There have been at least 3 reports of public assaults on people falsely identified as aliens.
Whoa, that's dark. That's pretty dark. I didn't catch that.
Yeah.
I was just going to be like, oh, I'm not 100% in love with Camille Kajuri's performance in this scene. And you were like, oh, look at these hate crimes that are going on.
Yeah, the people are just doing hate crimes.
Jesus. That's horrible.
Yeah.
Russell, come on now. I thought we were... Come on, buddy, friend, pal.
Hey, man, as the human race, do you put that... Not me and you personally, but do you put that past us? As a human race?
No,
There you go.
I have a shockingly little faith in humanity.
Yeah.
And it dwindles each day. But that's so bad.
That's horrible.
I mean, I don't want to say that it makes sense, but like if I saw that if this actually happened and I saw it on the news,
This is a believable
I cannot say I'd be like surprised.
If we
by
found out
seeing
about
that.
the existence of aliens tomorrow, it is entirely a believable headline that people would go out and actually start like attacking people.
God, isn't that horrible?
I know.
I hate this idea.
Shit that.
But Jackie's on the phone crying,
Yeah.
and I don't think that Camille Kajuri is a bad performer. I think she's actually really good.
If anything, I believe the opposite.
Yeah, she's great. But I think there is 3 things that are difficult to do in acting.
Yes.
Being on the phone when you don't actually have a response on the other side.
I imagine that.
You have someone reading out, but you don't get the
It's not the
inflection.
same,
You don't, because I imagine it's just someone who's off, not on set, just in the background behind the camera, shouting out the line in a monotone voice.
Yeah, just reading it.
Yeah, just reading what would be said had there been a sound effect of someone on the other side. That crying would be difficult.
Yeah.
And also drinking, you can really tell when someone does actually have liquid in their mouths.
Anytime me and Luke watch anything, and someone like pours a drink, someone takes a drink, something, he always goes, nothing in that. Every time. We were watching Game of Thrones the other night, and there was like multiple scenes in the episode where someone like pours some wine or something, and every time he's like, there's nothing in that cup.
Just put some Ribena in it and let them drink that and just pretend it is wine. It is like, what is the problem?
The one that gets me is when, someone pours something in a glass and you can tell it's like a little bit too much to do a shot of, and then they like drink it really quickly like it would be a shot. Because you know how hard it is to when you think like,
when
I
they
can
do
down
vodka,
this drink.
it's obviously water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you're like, I can down this drink, and then you get like a mouthful of it, and then you go, oh no, there was more in here than I thought there was.
Yeah.
And then you kind of have to do the like awkward weird.
Your mouth's
little,
like a little bit too full, so you have to
you
sort
like
of
do a little weird sip thing.
you have to keep it in your mouth, but then also readjust your mouth for some reason to make room for the thing that's already in there. It's already in there. I don't know why you have to make room for that. Did what I say sound rude? Is that what it is?
Yeah, it did.
Did what I say sound rude?
Very rude. Yeah, actually. Back in the TARDIS.
Back in the TARDIS.
Because, like, you know what? I'm just going to say it now. This episode goes to a lot of locations. And I know we've jumped around a lot talking about it. But it's just because the episode just jumps around
It's
so
like
much.
A, B, A, B, C, A, B, C, C.
God forbid that you are listening to this episode and you have not seen the episode we're talking about and you don't plan on watching it. God forbid you try and follow this. But to be fair, just, it's, you know, you get the sense. You get the shape of it.
We don't say unprofessional for no reason.
Back in the TARDIS, though, Rose and Mickey have another little conversation.
They have a little moment.
They do, and she has just said that he is more important than a boyfriend, that he's so much more of that. Because she says to him, she's like, oh, in a year, because that's what he says, every day I looked
on every street corner for a blue box, yeah.
Yeah, and then she says it's only been a few days, and he says, not enough time to miss me, and then they both do oh, I did miss you, and because he says not enough time to miss me, and then she makes a face.
But that's a clear, like, bait into like this is where you tell me whether or not you're still interested in me.
Yeah.
As a as a relationship partner, like this is where I want to know if you're still interested in us being together. And she's like, of course I missed you.
Because afterwards, she asks him if he's seen anyone else in 12 months.
And he's like, no. And she's like, smiles for a second. He's like, but that's because people think I killed you. And she's like, okay, never mind. She does pull a bit of a suggestive face.
She does though, because he goes in to kiss her as well, and she doesn't seem
Does
like
he?
she's gonna. Yeah, he goes in to kiss her.
I don't know social cues. I'm terrible at this.
She doesn't seem like she's gonna do anything. And then the doctor's like, oh, got it. The TARDIS is doing something now. And then they back away from each other. Oh, well, he backs away from her.
Yeah.
But he is gonna go in for the kiss there.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. He's down so bad for Rose.
Kind of feel bad for him.
Just brings it back round full circle where I'm like, what was there, even before she met the doctor, what was their relationship?
Yeah. One of those relations where it's like, I have a boyfriend. He doesn't go to this school. Like, it's...
I think realistically, these are two people who've been together, you know, maybe since like they were in school or something. I don't know what that was. Yeah, they've been together since they were like in school. Realistically, they need to break up, but she doesn't want to break up with him because, you know, maybe like she doesn't want to feel mean about it. And then the doctor comes along and she's like, this is the perfect excuse for this relationship to end.
Whoa, a relationship in which you're just not with it anymore, but you don't want to hurt the person's feelings, so you just stay with them.
Yeah.
Relatable, that's all.
Didn't even get a trip in space and time out of it.
I didn't know.
So what was the point? Back at Downing Street, someone says, after they kill the other guy, the Slitheen kill the other guy, and they say, better get rid of his skin. And then they just shove it in the cupboard.
I want to backtrack. When they're in the TARDIS it's either after or before, it's in this conversation in the TARDIS at some point with Mickey and Rose and the Doctor. And Mickey's asking about the TARDIS, and the Doctor's like, do you think you'd have any idea if I actually told you? And Mickey's like, no. And he's like, well, shut it then. I just don't like the Doctor around Mickey. Or at least not...
No, this version of the Doctor.
No, they clearly do some damage control with 10 to make him polite and a bit more nice to Mickey.
Ricky, if I was to tell you what I was doing to the controls of my frankly magnificent time ship, would you even begin to understand? And he says, I suppose not. And the Doctor says, well, shut it then.
What, like...
And then Rose says, he's winding you up.
That's...
Like, no, he's just being a dick.
No, he's just an arsehole constantly.
Like, you couldn't even be like, oh, I'm just trying to track a signal.
Like,
I don't
what is
understand
going
that
on?
meant.
But before they put the Slitheen in the cupboard. So when we cut back to the room and he's changed into, what's he called with the Q in his name?
General Asquith.
Asquith, yep. When he changes into him, he's like, I quite liked being the other fella. He had a mistress and this, and I was like, have you been doing sex in this body?
He had a wife, a mistress, and a young farmer.
Has he been doing? What does that mean?
What does that
last bit mean? What does that? He's been having relations with. Oh, maybe he was bisexual.
I'm not saying women can't be farmers, but like, I assume it's a man.
This Slitheen.
I want to think that he's bisexual, so I'm going to assume the young farmer is a man.
The idea that this Slitheen is like top shagger among the Slitheens. Right. Like, one of them's like, I want to go bake cakes. One of them's like, I want to take over the world. And this one's like, I'm going to go plough. Yuck.
That's
yuck,
horrible.
yuck. I know, yeah.
Would it even... No.
It wouldn't work. Surely it wouldn't work.
I don't want to think like logistically, but the thing is, it's a skin suit.
But it's also got a gas exchange, so it just fill up like a balloon, like just there, just like, you know what I mean?
He's like, oh, honey, you look bigger than you did earlier. There's a massive fart. He's like, don't worry about it. The part though where they just take off the skin suit and then they just throw it in the cupboard that Harriet Jones is hiding in, which they don't know that. Obviously, she's hiding. They literally just like, better get rid of the skin and shove it in the cupboard. So I hope that, like, obviously their invasion, spoiler alert, does not work because the Doctor saves the day.
What?
I know.
I'm not watching episode 5 either now.
Sorry, you don't need to. I hope someone would have made a point to be like, oh shit, gotta get the skin out the cupboard. Fuck, can't be leaving that there.
You walk in, there's a big green alien. What are you doing? Oh, my skin's in the cupboard.
You seen Saw 2?
Yes.
You know that, so in Saw 2, there's a safe. And the combination for the safe, they all have a number for it, and the number is on the back of their necks. And the plan is that, work together, but obviously they don't, because everyone in Saw movies is dumb as fuck.
Yes.
And at the end, there's this guy who's gonna kill everyone else. And Amanda says to him, like, how are you going to see your own number? And he just takes this ratty, dirty knife off the saw bathroom
and he
floor,
cuts the back of his neck off, doesn't he?
Cuts the piece of skin off the back of his neck, and then he looks at it, and he shoves it into his pocket afterwards.
Ew, it's horrible. That surely doesn't work. I'm not going to try it.
I wouldn't.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do that. This is when the and I don't know his name. I'll see if I can find out who he is. The Prime Minister's assistant.
Indra Ganesh.
Indra, yeah. He's like, oh, the word doctor's flagged the thing up. No, it hasn't.
No.
It was the word...
She puts in TARDIS.
It was the word TARDIS.
It's just the word doctor that's flashing. But also, surely that's the most problematic system in the world if someone says the word doctor, which is just a common word.
It was for an alien helpline, specifically.
That's fair.
The number that she called.
That's fair.
That was...
just in case of emergency.
Yeah. A number that was occupied twice, and she just hit the readout
You're
button.
like leaving the GP, and you're like, oh whoa, a doctor just pulled a knife on me, and then unit descends, and they're like, where is he?
And is he an alien? No, a regular doctor. We can't help.
Give me your stethoscope, sir. I need to listen to your heartbeat.
I'm sorry, we can't. It's not an alien. It's just regular doctor. We can't help. I'm sorry. I'm being held at knife point.
Right,
yeah, and I'm.
That sounds like a you problem, buddy.
Guys, my hands are tied. Can't do much of anything. You should run. They run out of the TARDIS,
and they're immediately surrounded.
Yeah. Like,
unit descends, they've got helicopters with floodlights, all that kind of stuff.
Mickey makes a dash.
Mickey just legs it, yeah. But no one shoots.
No one shoots.
Which I always say, isn't that a thing that they do normally if, like, the police are sort of getting to someone?
This dude who has a gun that is clearly meant to be in two hands, like, up, when you have it, like, up in, I don't know how, this is an audio thing, but, doing this kind of thing, I'm just going to motion it with my hands, I'm sorry.
Isn't that at ease in terms of, like, military terminology?
I have no fucking clue.
I don't know either.
Military. But it's not a one-handed weapon.
No.
But he's just, like, dashing about with one hand with it under his arm, and I'm like, that wouldn't work.
That's not how you carry a gun, sir.
Mickey goes where he's most comfortable, and that's behind the bin.
Yep.
Obviously, that's where Mickey is. It's where he just
move
always.
Over, Danny DeVito. We've got a new trash man.
Oh. It's Danny DeVito's birthday, as of the day of recording this, by the way.
Is it?
It's today, yeah. Danny DeVito's birthday
happy birthday, Danny DeVito.
Happy birthday, Lord and Saviour.
When he listens to Doctor Who Rewind later, he's going to be so happy about that shout-out.
Please call me back. Imagine ringing Danny DeVito and you're like, hey, Danny, and he's like, ah! And you're like... That's
how I feel when I ring you.
You never ring me?
Well, if I did...
You just text me every 4 days. It's not even like a how are you text, it's, is Rewind done? And I'm like, no, sorry.
Yeah. I'd like it to be known that I don't think the last message that I sent you was about Rewind, to be fair, so, like,
Can
I
you
think
check?
that's... Yeah, actually, it was about me owing you money.
Was it? Genuinely?
For the RSS feed.
For Rewind?
Yeah.
You owe me money for Rewind?
Yeah. Which I've sent you, to be fair. So it's fine.
So it was a Rewind thing, though, wasn't it?
It was a Rewind thing.
But it was a Rewind
It was
thing.
a Rewind thing. And then the last thing before that is me being like, my brain's made out of mush today.
So after the Downing Street escort, before they actually arrive there,
Yeah.
that is when we end up with the Slitheen in the house with Jackie.
Yes, the policeman goes and...
Yeah.
We know he's a Slitheen. Because when he does a sit down...
His tummy rumbles.
He's gurgling.
His tummy goes like... And he's like... Oh.
He's making some inside noises and we're like, Jackie, no, don't trust this man.
His tummy is making some inside noises.
It's like, joke's on you, he's just got IBS. Like...
He takes like...
There's nothing shady about him.
He takes
the
like
guy's
some...
had a milkshake on the way.
He takes some Lanzaprazole to settle his stomach. And he's like, oh better.
On the way into Downing Street, though, they have like a bunch of paparazzi there, and the Doctor fully like smiles and waves at them. He is enjoying that. That's another one of his classic beaming moments.
Yeah, because Rose like, we're going to Downing Street, right? And he's like, yeah, that's where we're going, like right now.
Yeah.
And he's probably in the back of the car, like lavish.
Yeah, when he's like, who's the bigger expert than me? And she goes, Patrick Moore.
And the doctor is like, oh, I don't know the name that he says. He's like, you should drink me under the table. And the idea that the doctor's lived this celebrity Lady Gaga-esque lifestyle, like, he's just so fabulous.
I like that. Lloyd George.
He used to drink me under the table. Who's the Prime Minister now? What a change of conversation, by the way.
Yeah, and she says, how should I know? I've been gone for a year. Was that an election year?
2005.
Yeah, it was Tony Blair, right? At that time, I think. I think Tony Blair was the Prime Minister.
Probably.
Tony Blair.
I don't remember too much. I was 5.
You know.
I was 5 years old.
Did they kill him? Did the Slitheen kill Tony Blair? I mean, I know it's not like... I know he's not actually the Prime Minister.
Well, they
like,
do kill the Prime Minister, don't they?
Yeah.
They find him in the cupboard in the next bit after this. When... when Harriet Jones is trying to get into the room that the doctor's allowed into. And Indra's like...
The meeting of, like, all of the alien experts that
Yeah.
Slitheen have gathered in one place.
And Indra's like, look, I can't let Rose in there. I can't let Harriet Jones in there. And Harriet Jones is like, okay, that's fine. I'll take Rose with me. We'll be okay.
Yeah.
I'll take care of her. I may as well be put to some use anyway.
Yeah, let me do something,
And
you know?
Indra kind of wanders off and she's like, walk with me. Don't talk.
Yeah,
Don't
she goes,
look. Don't look.
Don't look back. Just keep walking.
And then she circles back around directly into the doorway that she was told she wasn't allowed in. And no one stops her and Rose.
Yeah, it's like everyone else goes out that door and they turn right and then her and Rose just don't. And there's
just-
absolutely nothing to stop them.
They walk away for like 4 steps, swerve back around, go straight into there, and everyone's like, yep.
Like, realistically,
Nothing to see
they
here.
could have opened that door and, like, snuck in at the back. No one would have noticed. It would have been fine.
Indra's like, well, now that I've walked away, they're going to listen.
But yes, I've told them no, and they will respect that. This woman who has been bugging me this whole day about wanting to get into places she's not supposed to be, if I leave her unattended, she won't try and get into a place she's not supposed to be. That doesn't sound like her.
She's like, Harriet Jones, MP Flydale North. And like, sorry, we can't let you in. She circles back around. She parts her hair a bit a little bit different.
She goes, Barriet Jones!
That's exactly where I was going. Fuck. I spent too long in the setup. You beat me to the finish line.
She's got, you know, those glasses where it's like the fake
The
nose.
fake
and
nose mustache. She looked like a fucking Guess Who character. Trying to get in
Be
there.
like, is your character MP for Flydale North? So, yes.
Barriet Jones, Rhombus Room.
The thing is, Harriet Jones and Rose have a little moment here, which I'm also filing under the moments that Rose has with, like, regular people that are just sweet.
But also sometimes make you dead.
Yeah.
If Raffalo and Gwyneth are anything to go by, Harriet Jones may not have long left. When Harriet and Rose go out together, they open the cupboard and the Prime Minister falls out. Like, just like swoons. It's like, oh my god, you two are so perfect. And then like falls and hits the ground in the middle of the rhombus room. It's surprising to me that they were like, we'll kill the Prime Minister, but we're not going to skin him and pose
He's
as him.
thin.
I know he's thin.
He's too thin.
I know he's thin. But still.
And that's a thing. That's a thing that Slitheen specifically need larger bodies.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I mean, this is the question though. So, like, you know, like when you buy clothes and
Yes.
like they either fit you or they're too big or they're too small.
Yeah.
And obviously, if they are too big or too small, then they don't look right the way that they like fit you.
Yeah,
The
no,
fit's
no.
not right. Is that the case? Like, if one of the Slitheen tried to get him on, would it be like when you wear like some jeans that are too tight or something, and you're like, ugh, can't wear these. Half my ankles are out.
You've killed a man for no reason. He
Yeah.
doesn't fit. You're
Put him in the cupboard.
never going to believe this. What? I've only gone and fucking killed someone. I've like jack-o'-lanterned the fuck out of them. Don't tell me they don't fit. They don't fit. Oh, no way. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Like, oh, well, you know what? Now you're going to have to call him Blon Fotch to come and sort it out. That's not even the right Slitheen, actually. Never mind. It's so stupid of me to say.
I can't believe you would do that.
They build up a lot of tension in this little bit.
With it, when they bounce between the three POVs really fast.
Where you know at this point that everyone in this situation, obviously the Doctor, and then separately Rose and Harriet, and then separately Jackie, don't know that they are all close quarters with a Slitheen, but
Yeah.
they all are close quarters with a Slitheen, and we know that. And that's building tension, baby.
You got real close in for that one.
Yeah.
Great. But I mean that's true. It's executed well.
It's good.
Because right as we know the bad thing's about to happen, we get to see the Doctor slowly formulate
Come to the
their
realization.
plan. He's like, what do they get? And then he looks around at all the alien experts. He's like, us. They get us, all the experts in the world in one room. And Mr. Green, the Tarty Farty Prime Minister, you know, he leans forward and he's like, and he's like, do you mind not farting while I'm trying to save the world?
And then he goes, would you rather silent but deadly?
Yeah, let's not. We don't. Some of the. I don't like some of the. I don't like some of the quips in this.
No.
I'm not a huge fan.
Here's the subtitle though. This is the one when when they're taken off, when like they unzip, the Slitheen unzip, and then for the first time, they actually take the skin suits off on camera and you see it. The subtitle said slithery squelching.
Oh,
as they were like wiggling out of it.
I hate that.
Which is disgusting.
Gross. Oh, it's like taking off a condom but for your whole body.
Jackie gets another really good scream.
She does, and this one goes on just a little bit too long for me, I'll be honest.
The thing that gets me...
This is the horror movie final girl scream.
It is. This is the thing about Jackie as well that specifically gets me, is that when the Slitheen unzip, they let out like a blue light, and it makes like a noise. And it takes Jackie a second to like turn around and be like, hey, something's not right here.
Yeah,
like,
the whole room in front of her is like gone blue and white and it's just flickering like UV light. And she turns around and she's like, Mr. Policeman. Excuse... I don't know why I've turned her into a quote-unquote, like a floozy is the only word. Mr. Policeman. Mr. Police, would you so kindly knock on my door? And then like he comes in, he's like, and she's like, oh fuck. But...
What, sir? You put the devil in me.
Yeah, because when they're all like jumping away and then the Slitheen come out, it's the first time you see their design and they are so cool.
It's a very good look.
They are so cool looking. I remember like if I was to, I know that everyone had like a Dalek toy or whatever, but I had the Slitheen toys and their horrible talons were so cool. And they have that little thing on their elbow. I don't quite know what it is.
Oh, they're like weird. Like I want to say it's a vein, but like
it's like a pipe that joins their arms. It's so weird.
I like the idea that essentially Slitheens are like if you asked like a child to draw an alien and they draw like a little green man with big eyes. I love that that's what Slitheen are, just in a way that is actually cool.
The most nightmarish kind of way.
Yeah.
They also blink sideways and make horrible noises when they blink. It's like a squelching grossness.
I like as well, the one thing that I like about them, which you see a very brief... I said the one thing that I like about them. I meant one of the things that I like about them.
Yeah.
Is that you see it kind of briefly in this episode, and obviously you get to see a lot more next episode, that although they are essentially like big 8-foot-tall beasts with hugely long arms, they're fast.
Oh, yeah, they're terrifying.
They are speedy.
Yeah, and we'll see more of that next time.
Yeah. Like because Indra, big boy, killed...
Oh, when he gets lifted up.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot how high he went. He went up big.
Yoink him. I need to put him on the list as well. He
died. I forgot you still had this list because I've not been keeping track of this.
I have.
I'm sorry, Katie.
I have it there.
Katie.
Yeah.
Is the name of this list Docky Who Death Count?
Yeah.
Why?
Because that's what it is. It's the Docky Who Death Count. What else do you want me to call it?
The Docky Who Death Count. Fucking hell. Okay. Yeah. We need to go in Clive's shed.
Back to the shed.
Should
we see if he's in? Clive?
Don't make me do dolls as well. Do doll sounds.
You in there?
Don't make me do doll sounds.
You in there, bud?
Wait, just, you know what? Clive soundbite, go.
Oh, sorry. Hello, I'm Clive, obviously. No murders. Please come through, I'm in the shed.
Okay, you got some Slitheen.
Some Slitheen stuff.
Some Slitheen stuff.
So,
aliens in the episode. Slitheen pig.
Whilst they do not mention it in the episode, they mention it next episode, but whatever, we'll get to it. The Slitheen are not a race, they are a family.
That's true.
Slitheen is a surname. They are cousins of the Blathereen and the Rakatine, and descendants of the Slaverine, who themselves are descendants of the Changleen, who were the earliest descendants of the Huspic Degenerate. There's also a couple of notable Slitheen. There's actually many notable Slitheen, and I've just written down the most notable ones from what it said on the wiki. However, it does list just about every other Slitheen, which
really?
we'll cover it. We'll cover it.
Oh, is this when you were telling me that we could have a field day on just Slitheen alone?
But we have Blon, Fotch, Pasameer-Day, Slitheen.
It's pronounced Blon, Fotch, Pasameer-Day, Slitheen.
Sorry. Blon, Fotch, Pasameer-Day, Slitheen. We've got Korst, Gog, Thek, Lutevan, Day, Slitheen. And we have Slist, Fae, Flut, Martaviathon, Slitheen.
Do you know what these are notable for?
Well, Blon is Margaret. The other two.
Yeah, I know that Blonde's Margaret.
The other two, I don't know. I don't know that. I didn't check it out.
Okay.
When we get to whenever we talk
We'll do
about
a
Slitheen,
full
we'll
Slitheen
do a full
episode.
thing.
That could be either like at some point here, or I think it'd be better to do during the Sarah Jane.
Yes, because
Stuff.
that brings me to my next point, is that this Slitheen are the only aliens from the main series to appear more times in spin-offs than the main show.
Yeah, because they appear quite a lot.
They are like a recurring alien in Sarah Jane.
It's almost like the Daleks, like a once per season almost thing in Sarah Jane.
I think the only season that doesn't have them maybe is the first one, but I might be wrong on that.
You are wrong on that. The first episode. After the Bane one, the first 2 episodes are...
Are they?
Yeah.
Is it that early?
Yeah.
Okay.
The first one's Slitheen, and then the second one is either Kudlak or the Gorgon, and then the third one is the other to those 2. Stop, please don't.
It's Slitheen family tradition to bury their eggs of their young in underground caves, so they hatch and then they have to like burrow to the surface.
Ew.
Sort that out. Also, they engage in cannibalism.
Just like casually.
Yeah, that's just a thing that they do. And this one, I wrote it down word for word because it was perfect and I needed you to know this. A robot duplicate of Rose erroneously recalled that the Slitheen employed animated shop window dummies in the game Robot Rose, which was a puzzle game in the 2006 Doctor Who annual.
Like a pen and paper puzzle game.
Yeah. Robot Rose. Also, there was a scrapped spin-off called Rose Tyler Earth Defense. And then they were going to appear in there, like on Pete's World, like a Pete's World version.
That would have been so cool. Mm-hmm. I mean, this was back when Doctor Who had like a lot of spin-offs.
There is one though. The Big Finish does one. It's called I think it's called Rose Tyler Dimension Canon or something.
Oh
and
yeah. I've heard of it. I've seen it.
I never bought the box set, but I was planning to for the longest time, and then I was like, I don't have Big Finish money. I don't even have shed money. Speaking of shed money, Clive, that's all we've got for you this week, bud.
Okay, he's dead. He hasn't moved
tell me that.
He hasn't moved in over a week.
He's still real to me, damn it.
We stepped over him to get in here every time. Every time.
No more Slitheen facts, and I don't have any trivia that I haven't already said. Actually, sorry, that the pig alien chase was the first scene that Eccleston filmed.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
That's so funny to me.
Ooh, no, I do actually. Here's another one as well. So the events of this story were shown from the perspective of unit officers in Operation London and Number 10, which were both like stories
Big Finish.
that were written. No, they were just like actual books.
We don't need Mr. Smith this week then?
No.
I'm kind of happy. Don't need do no beeps.
Do one for posterity?
Beep boop. There's 2.
Cool.
Yep.
What do you think about this episode?
Okay, what would you rate this episode? Did you want me to go
I
first?
just asked you that question.
Oh, yeah. No, you know, I asked you. No, I'll go first if you would like.
I don't care. What have you said?
I was really bouncy on this one.
Were you?
I gave it a 4.
Did you?
I did give it a 4. I was debating going 3.5. And I still am a bit dicey on it. I still am not convinced that this is too great. It's a lot of exposition.
It is.
But I do, I mean, this is all, because I do think that the build-up is worth it, which I think might have influenced me giving it a higher number, because I know that the next episode is a pretty good one.
Yes.
Mainly for, there are scenes in the next one, or at least like
that are really good.
A certain point of view that I have that I think are just way better than other ones in the next episode, which we'll talk about that next week.
I gave this episode a 3.
Yes.
Because I just how I feel. It feels very like just mid.
I need to
for me, like it's fine. I like it, but it's not the best Doctor Who has been. It's not the worst Doctor Who has been. It's a 3. It's a 3. I don't have to explain that.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. Because I gave the next time rating. I originally gave that a 3. And then there is one part at the very end.
I know which bit you're referring to.
Bumped it to a 3.5 for me.
That's the thing that bumped it to a 4.5 for me. Which was the idea of real stakes.
Yes.
I could save the world but lose you, and he's over the table and he looks serious and you're like, oh, shit's about to go down next episode. Good. And it is. Like, to be fair, whilst this episode is like you I don't think you can watch World War 3 without watching Aliens of London. It's just not feasible.
There's way too much.
Obviously you can with the previously at the beginning. It will fill you in on some of the general stuff. The actual writing and the plan of the Slitheen is genuinely a really good plan. Fabricating a crash.
It's a really good plan. And if the Doctor didn't interfere, I feel like you could safely say they would get away.
They would have won. Yeah. If it weren't for those meddling kids.
Done it.
When it comes to their plan, the idea of faking a crash and infiltrating over time instead.
And the idea that they've been there already.
Yeah, for at least a few weeks, maybe a few months.
Yeah.
And I don't think they ever say how long they've been hiding around.
I don't think they do.
No, but
Not in this episode, at least. They might mention it next time, but like they don't say in this episode how long they've been on Earth for.
Yeah, I mean that plan is written well and it's executed well, but this is just the beginning of that, and so you have to do the planning and execution phase before you can get to the action phase, which is like part 2 of this of One Long Story. I have given it 4 stars, but I think that I don't know if you want to do this separately, which we can do, is rate the whole 2-parter on its own merit
we will do
together.
That. Yeah, we'll do
as
that.
how it is as one cohesive full story.
Mm-hmm.
But the next time rating you gave
3.5.
and I give it a 4.5
Yeah.
for a similar reason, whereas that last bit excites me.
Yeah.
Anything with real stakes, I'm like, ooh,
Ooh, the consequences.
And also I know that Rose has spoken to Harriet Jones and she, Harriet Jones might not make it out alive.
Yeah, that's what we're in the edge of our seats for. I could save the world, but lose you.
Yeah.
Harriet Jones.
MP.
For Flydale North.
I have one final thought.
Yes.
Rose Tyler and the Doctor.
Yeah.
Right. So if you don't consider the Doctor's first name to be the, which I really don't,
Yeah.
if you put those initials next to each other, that's RTD. And I had that thought during this episode, and I was like, I don't know if he did that for that reason. But I also wouldn't be against it if he was like Rose Tyler and Doctor is
an RTD.
Is RTD. I don't know. But that's my closing thought this week.
Thank you.
The weirdest thing I can think
Astute
of.
as ever, Tyrese. And that was Doctor Who Rewind, baby.
See you all next week. Bye. Welcome to Doctor Who Rewind, where we all have full stomachs and child's bladders. Oh, I don't feel so good. I do. I feel fine. Shut up, Tyrese. Fucking. We haven't got all the names of the Slitheen, do we? I don't want to have to try and do a Slitheen name.
I have all of them.
No. That was the most legit no. You could soundbite that and put it in a game, and no one. There's gonna be such a tone shift between the episodes. We stopped for food. Oh, and I'm coming back. I'm beans in the tin. I'm full of beans. I'm full of beans.
God, I wish you weren't.
Full of beans. Oh, right. You good? We're both gonna just have food repeated on us this entire. So it was gonna be like, did you like that bit where there's like we haven't been drinking? Same energy though.
This is how we do it when we've had food. Imagine what it's gonna be like when we do this when we've had a drink.
It's like when I'm like I know it's there.
Oh.
It's like I'm hiding behind the couch of my stomach. I come out, it jumped. I was like ah.